All right, welcome to week 5 of Football Focus Weekly. We're getting into conference play. I'm the Pet Man, Matt Morrow. And to start off Pet Man's players tonight, presented by Rock Solid Training, we have Mr. Lukas Santwier, middle linebacker for the Providence Day Chargers. Lucas, how you doing, man?
Doing quite all right, sir.
Awesome, man. Well, like we were just talking before, I'm really excited to have you on the show. I've admired your game from afar for the last 2 years, and I think you do a great job in that Providence Day defense. What's it like to get those guys ready week in and week out, playing, some really good teams and being a highly ranked team in the nation and trying to face everybody's best shot every week?
Well, at the end of the day, it comes down to preparation. At Providence Day, we're very highly ranked, and we're going to hold ourselves to a higher standard than, say, a lower ranked team. So our preparation has to be that much more intense every day in practice. When we're going up against a lot of good teams and even bad teams too, we got to play. We can't lower our standard to them. We have to keep our standard at the level it's at, because at the end of the day, if we lower our standard, we're going to make ourselves look worse, and we still have to prove ourselves every week in and out, and people are going to doubt us. And so honestly, preparation is the biggest key. Studying film, practicing, getting rep in, rep out. Every week in practice, we just have to give 100%, and we have to translate that to the field, or else it's not going to correlate.
That's spoken like a team captain right there, man. That's good stuff. Awesome, man. So playing middle linebacker, in your opinion, what are the best things you do on the football field?
Well, as being a middle linebacker and being some consider undersized, my biggest key is being technically sound. In any position, if you know what you're doing and you know how to do it, you're going to be successful. If you know how to combat what the offense is doing, you're going to be successful. For my job as a linebacker, my number one responsibility is to read the run. I'm reading the guard and tackle, that triangle between the guard, the tackle, and me. So if the guard pulls, I pull with him. That's a flowing gap. If the guard blocked down and the tackle locks out to the end, that's a split helmet. That's a read that I got to fill that gap right there. And another example is if we're in the pass and they're running RPO, we still got to play the run first as backers. That's what we're taught, because they're going to sauce us up and they're just going to keep running it if we relate to the pass. So at the end of the day, it's a tough position, but we got to be technically sound and do our job every single play, or we're going to get beat on that play, and eventually that's going to lead to us losing the game if we don't play technically sound in our best game on defense.
You got coaching in your future, don't you?
I have been told once or twice, maybe.
That was awesome, man. Good stuff. So, what's the experience like playing at Providence Day, being number one ranked in all these polls across the state, and then being nationally ranked, man? I mean, that's got to be pretty cool, right?
It's definitely something that I don't think many people get to experience. It's a unique opportunity that I'm extremely blessed to have. I'm sure all of our players are as well, especially within that PD program. I before talked about how we have such a high standard and the bar is going to be so high that we have to continue that. So it's pretty intensive, especially at practice and throughout the week. We got to prep every week like we're going in. Like if we lose a game, where everybody's going to doubt us, we're going to drop out of the poll nationally ranked. So there's a lot of pressure on us to uphold that standard, or else people are still going to doubt us. And so honestly, I'm very grateful that we're in the position that we're at, but we're at the top of the mountain, and now we got to stay at that position because everybody's coming for us. Everybody likes an underdog, but at the end of the day, how do I describe it? We're the hunted, not the hunters.
Absolutely, man. That's the right mindset to have. You got a fan here, Miss Susan Desmond. She says, "I love my grandson. So proud." Oh, that's nice. It's real nice, Miss Desmond. Well, we're glad to have your grandson on the show for sure. All right, Lucas. Well, last question for you. Let's step outside of football for a minute. What are the things you like to do off the field when you're away from the game? You like to relax, and you're not thinking about playing middle linebacker and reading guards, pulling, and all that stuff.
Man, that's a good question, because realistically, we don't have much time out of football. We got about one day each week off. So I usually like to spend that time sleeping, relaxing. I actually like embroidery. So I like like custom making stitches, and I just like for my jerseys. I'm a big hockey fan as well, so I like finding patches for my jerseys, whether it be like older patches from years ago, and especially for football as well. I'm a big hockey guy, so I like collecting patches, and I also enjoy playing cards as well. That's a big interest of mine.
Man, now that's pretty cool. Now, out of the things I expected to talk about tonight, embroidery was not on the list. So, so that's
Well, I
pretty
do
awesome.
actually know how to sew. I learned it in 7th grade family and consumer science class.
Oh, man, that's good stuff, Lucas. Well, once again, Lucas, I'm a big fan of yours, and obviously we're big fans of Providence Day and everything Coach Greer and you guys are doing. And we appreciate you coming on the show tonight, man, and continued success to you. Absolutely, man. Appreciate the time.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. That was Lukas Santwier. He's the middle linebacker for the Providence Day Chargers. Really talented young man, doing some great things in that program. And, to be honest, one of my favorite players around in the Charlotte metro area. All right. Welcome to Football Focus Weekly. I'm the pet man, Matt Morrow. We got the show started off with Lucas. We want to try to get more kids on the show. So if you're interested in doing something like this, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll get it set up. All right, we got some comments here. First of all, chat administrator, he's checking in from work. Dedicated, man. Best chat administrator in the Southeast. You gotta love it, man. Jada Connects here. New week. Yes, sir. New week, new show. Good stuff. Jerron Ori, family. Dedicated, man. Becoming one of the most dedicated viewers, Jerron. I like that. Coach Hunt. Coach Hunt's still working. Glad to have you, Coach. Yes, sir. Defense coordinator, Providence Day right there. Checking in. That's his guy, middle linebacker. Thanks for watching, Coach. And Miss Wendy, yes, sir. No, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Impressive young man, absolutely. And we'll get that out there on social media on our channels, and make sure everybody gets a chance to see it that didn't get a chance to see it live. So, all right, let's see who's here. We got some people here. The engine, as usual, is here.
Batman, what's up, brother?
Sorry, Lucas, my bad. Technical issue. I'm good, man.
I'd like to see Thor crocheting, man. That would be quite the sight to see, especially with some eye black on his face in between plays. Maybe that could be like a new celebration for after a big hit or a tackle. He can do some crocheting. That'd be awesome.
Definitely would set a trend.
That's it, man. I'm ready to hire that Joker as my DC, man. That dude.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
It really was, man. All right, Coach Dub. It's in the house.
Let's go.
Good to see you, sir. We got some exciting news coming up about Coach Dub. I can't wait to share with everybody.
What is it?
I can't share it yet. You know what I'm talking about. All right, Friday Night Fowler is here.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Good.
There he is.
Man.
What's going on, Fowler?
What's up, Coach Dub? How you doing, baby?
I'm blessed, bro.
That's what's up. Glad to hear that. We all blessed, baby.
That's right. That's right.
Engine, Pip man, what it do?
What's up, brother?
Hey, their favorite time of the week, baby.
There it is.
Nothing like North Carolina high school football, baby.
Friday night, I'm going to tell you something. So I'm going to tell the world something. So Friday night is truly dedicated to high school football. I woke up at 1:50 in the morning. This man has sent me his 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A poll.
I told you he don't sleep. He tags you at 1:50, tags you at 6 a.m., he tags you at 7:20. It doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh!
I had to get in for the deadline, Pip. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no one better. No one better, right. Jamal. Salute, brother.
No one better. No one else is doing that at 1:50 in the morning, I guarantee you.
Coach Dub, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it, man.
Your buddy Jay Connect got a message for you. Barry White in the building. There you go.
What's up, my deadly brother? What's good with you, baby?
Oh, he's a Dudley guy?
Yeah, he's straight D
Oh,
boys.
okay.
Straight D
Okay.
boys.
All right,
Don't
we're
get
gonna
that
talk.
man started.
Well, we're gonna talk about Dudley here in a minute, but I'll let you guys take a break because we got the Pep Man's players to do. Once again, sponsored by Rock Solid Training, and we're gonna get these players on the screen. We had a lot of good performances last week, and we're gonna talk about those guys right now. All right, so starting it off, Keelan Flo from Chambers, star DB, is committed to West Virginia. He had a pick six in their big 63-14 victory over Hickory Ridge. The producer was there and said he was a big time standout player. That was a 100-yard pick six, by the way, showing why he's going D1 for sure. Also, Braylon Vinson, running back from Chambers, under recruited in my opinion. He had the first two rushing touchdowns that set the pace for a big win in that victory. I really like the way he runs the ball. He's physical, but yeah, he has the speed to take it to the distance. Michael Hughes from Union Academy, defensive lineman, really impressive game. 16 tackles, 9 solo tackles from the D-line position, and 2 sacks against Bessemer City last week. We like new names in Pep Man's players, and that's definitely a new one that stepped up and got the job done. Peyton Parker from East Gaston, 4-0 start, one of their best starts in many years. 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 forced fumbles in their victory over Ashbrook last week. Great job for Peyton. He's a guy that I've seen his highlights a couple times. He's doing a really good job for those Warriors. Ziggy Harris, Porter Ridge, DB, had a pick six. He had a rushing touchdown and a 44-yard kickoff return in that victory. I like his speed. He's got good hands. Really good stuff right there for Ziggy. Once again, another new name on the show. A name we've heard before. Douglas Quarles from Corvian had a really good game. 3 sacks, forced fumble, and a safety in their win over Garinger. Really good sized kid. He can play defensive end. He can play receiver. 6'4". Should get some college attention if he's not getting it already. Another guy for Corvian, Andre Jackson Jr., we highlighted him in the preseason. At only 1.5 of work, he had 140 total yards on offense, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions on defense. That's a great job. He's a really, really special player. Good job for those guys from Corvian getting a win on the season. We don't usually do coaches and Pep Man's players, but I felt like we had to highlight him. Coach Tad Balcom, he's got his 200th career victory, and he's got Hickory Grove off to a 4-0 start this season. He's doing a great job, man. Really, really great guy, one of the best guys in the game. And he's got that program rolling once again. They were really good last year, and they're off to a really good start again this year. Great job, Coach, and congratulations. Jerron Tosi from Olympic, 13 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and a sack versus Shelby. Olympic didn't pull that out, but that middle linebacker, Tosi, it's synonymous with doing a great job. And he's an impressive player, doing a great job in the middle of that Olympic defense. The other guy doing a good job in the middle of the defense is Jack Smith on the defensive line for Pine Lake. He had 11 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 blocked kicks against Lake Norman Charter. They weren't able to pull that out. But Jack Smith has been on here before. He was on here last season a couple times. Really impressive player, good size, good motor, good strength from the interior of the defensive line. He can also play some offensive line as well. All right, Jari Mosley from Chase. Started watching this guy last season. He's got an offer from Charlotte. 10 catches for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns in their victory. 6'1", 180, really good body control, great hands, good speed on the outside, can high point the football and jump ball situations. Talented young man. Khalil Wright from Country Day. We talked about him before. Dual threat quarterback. He had 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown in Country Day's victory. They got that done on the road. And I'm glad for Coach Whitman and those guys going on the road and getting the win, man. Khalil Wright's one of the best quarterbacks that you don't hear about on a regular basis. He's got some ACC interest from a recruiting standpoint, and got good size. I think he's right 6'2", 190. Really getting it done over there. Linebacker Ben Parsuski for Porter Ridge. He had 9 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, and a sack in their victory last week. Doing a great job. Porter Ridge is off to a really good start. And we're going to talk about them tonight. They got a big game against Monroe in Union County Friday night. One of the best games in the area. Aiden Cannon, the receiving threat for Hickory Grove. We usually talk about Anthony Hawkins, but this man kind of opens things up for him on the outside. 6 catches for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns in their victory. He's a really good deep speed guy with the ball in his hands, and doing a great job for Hickory Grove. Good stuff, Aiden. This young man, I tell you, he's had a great 2 weeks. Chancellor Bryan in here again from RGKL. He had 71 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns, but he's really a DB. He had an 85-yard pick six, and he had another interception on top of that in their victory last week over Catawba Ridge. Over the last 2 weeks, I believe he has like 7 touchdowns combined. And, when I started talking to him last year, I felt like he could have this kind of breakout. It was just a matter of time. And now he's taking that opportunity with his talent and put it together. And it's been very impressive. Congrats, Chancellor. Another talented young man, Parker Ludwig for RGKL. He's a linebacker, 18 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a punt block in that same victory last week. Parker doing a great job. His older brother, Jack, plays center. I met him at the media day. Well-spoken young man. That's a talented family with the Ludwigs. Good job. Charlotte Catholic DB coach sent this to me. John Fijalkowski. I hope I'm saying that right. I probably didn't. But this young man had a special game last week. He had 3 interceptions in their victory over North Meck. I think that was 29-0. Anytime you get a shutout, that's special. And John obviously had a really special night. And, one of the things that people used to say with Charlotte Catholic is you could try to throw the football on them, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Not with John back there. Great job, man. Reggie Daniel from Mountain Island, name we've had on here several times. 160 yards receiving, 7 tackles, and an interception in their victory. They remain undefeated on the season. He's doing a great job. He's going to be a big-time recruit. Great size, great speed. He can play either side of the ball. I don't know what else to say about him. He's very talented, young man. Griff Galloway for Providence Day. They had a lot of different guys step up last week, but this kid is 6'4", 220 pounds as a freshman. You know what that means. You know he's going to be a big-time recruit with that size already. 6 tackles, a tackle for loss, 1.5 sacks, and 5 quarterback hurries in their victory last week over Cannon School. Really, really impressive, man. That talent, is going to start flowing through there. On the regular for sure. And then finally, Ian Klein for Providence Day, running back, 6 carries for 159 yards. That is a crazy average. I don't even know how many yards is that? 20, no, not 20, about 18 yards a carry, I believe. And 2 touchdowns in that same victory over Cannon School. He's been a great balance to Jaden Davis and all those star receivers on the outside. And he's taking advantage of, running in a very strong offense. So congratulations to all those players. Great job, guys. And we're glad to have you on Pet Man's Players, as always. All right. So now it is time for everybody's favorite segment, led by your favorite host, who is definitely not me, and that is Punt or Huddle Up.
What's up, guys? So this weekend, Aaron Rodgers made his much anticipated, if not controversial, I guess, maybe just because of who he is, debut with the New York Jets. And of course, we all know he tore his Achilles heel. He's probably going to miss the season. And that led to more talks of some stuff that's been getting a lot of traction here the last couple of years. So here's the statement. All artificial playing surfaces should be eliminated from all athletics. Eliminate all artificial turf. Pet Man Matt Morrow, what say you?
Eliminate all. Wow. I'll tell you, for me, it's funny because one of the things that we've been fighting for at Harding for, it seems like forever, is a turf field, ironically. And since we haven't been able to get that, we invested, in trying to take care of the field and, doing the things that you have to do. And with all this stuff coming out on turf, I think I've got to I got to huddle up on that. I definitely agree. Is that the right thing? Am I huddling up on that?
If you agree with the statement, you're gonna huddle.
All right, I can't. I forgot the rules on my own show. So yeah, I'll huddle up on that. We got to do what's right and do what's safe, and I think there's got to be a subsidy for these grass fields too, because it's expensive. It's expensive to try to take care of grass. That's why turf is around in the first place. But yeah, I mean we got to protect each other. So I'll huddle up.
Friday Night Fowler, the man who knows everything there is to know about football in the great state of North Carolina. Should all turf fields be eliminated?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold up on that one, man. Too many injuries, particularly to a superstar like Aaron Rodgers. We was all anticipating to see him play for the Jets, see what the Jets will do with him. Over the years, a lot of injuries when it comes to that type of surface, man. And so I'm gonna hood up on that one. We need to get rid of it.
I saw Big Eye Shelby quickly enter the room. Big Eye Shelby, you guys have missed some practice time here recently, man, because of natural grass issues. What say you?
Oh man, I'm quite unsure, really. I think I might huddle up then punt because with so many teams at your school, like being here in Charlotte, excuse me, at Independence, now you have women and men's lacrosse, so there's like two more sports that have to use the football field. So there's things like that you got to worry about with grass maintenance every year. Then like with us, every time it rains, it's so hard for us to even practice. Maybe we got to practice in the gym or just lift weights and watch film all day, man. I think that I've never really played on turf unless it was kind of like when we went to AC Reynolds, because everywhere team I went to pretty much had grass. I love the grass, but every school isn't blessed to have the same kind of drainage system, or the field may not be as level at a lot of different places. So I think turf has its pros and its cons. I don't think you can prevent injuries based off if you got turf or grass. I think injuries are just one of the unlucky things that happens in the game. So, man, I'm on kind of both sides of the fence with it, but I know a lot of schools would benefit off having turf because of the usage rate on those high school fields.
Big Eye Shelby, you just got a penalty for delay a game while you were trying to figure out if you were a huddle or punt, man. Good night. Coach Dove, as the only other coach on this show who has coached with a home turf field, what say you?
I'm gonna have to punt on this. I've coached at schools with grass, turf. Grass, and I coached obviously at Mountain Island. We got all turf fields, even our baseball field. And what I think it gives different options. It's pros and cons with both. Also, turf is great in any weather. Like if it's raining, got finished, pouring down or whatever the case may be, it's really good. But also with grass field, it's a lot to maintenance those grass fields. And you see a lot of schools. We have been to a ton of schools that don't take care of their fields, and those become hazards. I won't name the school, but it was one school we went to. They had the sprinkler system, patches, and all kinds of stuff. You could tell they didn't maintenance it, and they still made our boys play on it. And one of my boys got injured by stepping on one of those piles that was in the middle of the field. So it both got its pros and cons. And to talk about Aaron Rodgers just real briefly, old men get injured. He's old. It happens. I'm feeling it right now.
Boy, you must have been stealing my notes, Coach Dub, because I'm punting the mess out of this. No, we don't want to get rid of turf fields. No, it wasn't because of turf field that Aaron Rodgers got hurt. It's because he's 40 years old playing in a violent contact sport in the NFL. That's why he got hurt. He got hurt because his offensive lineman didn't make the block he was supposed to make. Get rid of turf fields. There is no way to quantitatively prove that turf fields are any more dangerous than grass fields. Do they feel better on your knees? Maybe. Do they feel better on your ankles? Maybe. But are they more safe or more dangerous? Absolutely not. I'm punting that thing so far out of here, and I hate punting the ball. Second and last question for the night, Mr. Canales.
Hey, Kenneth, can I say something real quick?
God dog, if you're going to try to mess up my flow here.
I'm gonna say this, man. I played on grass because we didn't have turf back then. And here's what happens in the background when we're not on camera. I got my massager right here, and I'm massaging my shoulder because I slept wrong, and it feels like my shoulder's out of socket. So playing on grass or turf, it don't matter because you're gonna get hurt irregardless. I'm sorry, Kenneth. Go ahead.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, linemen like playing on turf because it make you look faster.
There it is.
Linemen love it.
I remember when Joe Pinion used to keep his grass field at about 4.5 inches. That triple option looked like it was, God, oh, it used to piss me off, man. Grass coming up over your tied shoes. Cut this daggone field. Mr. Canales, the second and last one is for you, sir. J.M. Robinson in Concord, North Carolina is 4-0. They're averaging over 44 points a game. And in their last 3 games, their defense has given up 6 points, 0 points, and 0 points. And I may be looking at you, Friday Night Fowler. J.M. Robinson is the best team that nobody is talking about in this state. Let's just go ahead and go right to Friday Night Fowler. What say you?
Oh man, it's a tough one right there, brother. But I'm gonna have to punt on that one, man. I'm gonna have to punt on that one. There's a whole bunch of other teams that ain't nobody talking about right now. And by it being J.M. Robinson, who was a couple years ago that went too far away from the state championship, even though they were 2A, people know about J.M. Robinson. So I'm gonna have to punt on that one, my brother.
Good. Now, let me introduce you to some names. And I'm kidding with Friday Night Fowler, of course. Braylon Canales, Isaac Lee, Braylon Baker, Big Debo White, Isaiah Herrera, Knowledge Wright, who we've already talked about on this show ad nauseum. Do you know how good this team is? Big Guy Shelby, what do you think?
I get the 2A dogs some love. Let's huddle up, man, because being one of the very few, if not the only 2A team pretty much in this part of Charlotte or Concord in that area, hey, nobody talks about the 2A teams, man. So, hey, I'm going to huddle up J.M. Robinson, man. Hey, you got my support, baby.
Hey, I definitely did not mean to forget about my dude, Isaiah King, also the greatest ball boy of all time in Central Cabarrus football history. Coach Dub, what say you about the J.M. Robinson Bulldogs?
I'm huddling on this one because outside of giving up 41 points to Hickory Ridge, which was the first game, working out wrinkles, they've only gave up 6 points in the last 3 games. And we haven't been talking about them because I'm listening to the question. We have not talked about them. We've talked about all the other teams and their defense, but we haven't talked about them. So I'm definitely huddling on that.
Pat, man, what do you think about old J.M. Robinson?
Well, first of all, we have talked about them. They've been number 1 in the Cabarrus County rankings for the last, 4 weeks? So we have talked about them. We do the county rankings every week. It's just because you guys eating chicken wings in the background, you ain't paying attention. We have talked about them. Coach Seidel is here. He is the J.M. Robinson head coach. He's sharing some names: Brian Rowe, Xavier Burnett, Tyler Klutz, Josh Porch. And he also has a message that says, appreciate the love, coaches. The kids worked hard to get where they are at. So, yeah, I'm going to huddle up. I mean, other people and other shows may not talk about them, but this show appreciates and talks about the J.M. Robinson Bulldogs. And we have for years. Cabarrus County love, man.
Yeah, I'm going to huddle up, and I'm calling a deep pass from Lee to Port because that Joker is about to take it to the house. Coach Seidel, you're doing a great job over there. They still have some of my dudes, Coach Holt, Coach Barnes, my dude Day-Day's over there. So, man, I'm huddling up on that one. J.M. Robinson, they moved up to 3A, 2A school last year. They petitioned the state to move up, and, man, they're killing it. That's all I got this week, Pep.
That's your favorite new segment, Punt or Huddle Up with the Engine. All right, Friday night, you ready? You ready for the spotlight?
Let's get it, brother.
All right, it's time for Friday night's weekly rankings. And everyone's anticipating where is Mountain Island this week. Let's find out. 4A. Go ahead, Friday night.
Well, let's get it. You know, number one team in the state last week had a bye, Grimsley. Butler went out there and proved what they did against Langston Hughes. Wasn't no fluke. Came back on the previous number 2 team, Weddington. So I moved them up to number 2. Eastern Sight had a bye as well. I kept them at number 3. They're about to get into the meat of their schedule. So everything good? Oh, okay. All right. They're about to get in the meat of their schedule. Weddington, you know, I had to drop them down after the loss to Butler. Cleveland had a bye. Huff, you know, Huff is starting to get back to where they normally are. Chambers, you know, put the beat down on Hickory Ridge last week. Roseville, even though they gave up 32, they beat Cardinal Gibbons by 20. Had to drop Miller Creek after that loss to Gaffney, and moved into the top 10 in Charlotte Catholic.
All right. Guys, any thoughts on 4A?
Yeah, I got a question. Now, I'm gonna argue independence just one time. I'm just want to. Hey,
that's a lie.
I just want to see.
I knew that was coming.
Listen, I just want to see how he's going to respond to the question. Okay. Now, Matt, what's your reasoning for Miller Creek still being in the top 10?
Hell of a schedule.
Okay. So you came on the show and gave Miller Creek credit for what? Only giving up 10 points to Buford. Right. Now, even though we lost to Miller Creek, we scored more than Buford did. So wouldn't that give us more leeway to still be considered a top 10 team if we score more points than the nationally ranked team did on Miller Creek?
I see where you're going with that. The fact of the matter is,
I'm sure a top 5 3A team on your thing, about one. So it'd just be interesting. You know, I just want to pick your brain and see if you had a method to the madness. You know, it's all love with me, baby. I just wanted to, you know, with
that being said, they only lost by 3 to that nationally ranked Buford team, whereas y'all lost by 14 to Miller Creek.
Tell them Friday night.
However, you came on here and said because they lost to a nationally ranked team, they deserve to be in there. But we scored more than the nationally ranked team did.
It don't matter. What was the margin of defeat?
Okay. It don't matter. All right. Now, I want you to be able to come back to this later on in the year when you saying it don't matter.
I knew this was coming. Especially when I put Charlotte Catholic in there.
Respect because they only.
I'll show you respect.
You said give Miller Creek respect because of what they was able to do against Buford. But if we score more than Buford did, that should let you know something.
But against them, you got beat by more than what Buford beat them by.
I understand that. I just he done gave. Hey man, look, these your rankings, man. I just had a question.
Hey, bro, it's all love, Big Eye Shiver, baby. Big A. I'm good, Pep. What's up?
Y'all done?
Yo, I'm good.
Okay. Hey, Pep.
We'll continue with the show now.
That's some information I gathered over the 2 weeks. Just want to ask.
I know we got some comments coming. What the comments said?
Oh, everyone's man. They're enthralled in your debate.
Let's roll. Let's roll, man.
Go ahead.
All right, we on the 3A. Okay. Chris had a bye last week. Kings Mountain had a bye. Deli had a bye. Pretty much everybody had a bye last week except Havelock. Havelock looking kind of shady right now, but they're still getting by. 71st East Alamance with a big win over 2A Power Reedsville. East Lincoln doing what they do. Northern Nash doing what they do. Hey, and at number 10,
there it is.
J.M. Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, don't ever accuse me not showing them no love, baby.
Say it with your chest Friday night.
The Bulldogs in the house.
See, Fowler, the thing is, and Pep, I don't know if you know, I can't mention other shows or anything like that, like what shows, but we talk about the underdogs. We talk about the underdogs. So I'm not necessarily saying we don't talk about them. I'm just saying they're not talked about.
I feel you,
outside of this arena. We show everybody love. Shoot, we had North Gaston and Bessemer City as game of the week.
There it is.
So right, man. Everybody works hard. Everybody deserves love.
I'm messing with the engine.
Hey, I do got a question for you.
What's up?
What's your reasoning for having Kings Mountain?
Oh, wait a minute.
Pap. Come on, Pap.
Reason for what now?
What's your reasoning for having Kings Mountain over Dudley?
They've been at the whole season.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around. That's what I'm wanting to figure out.
I mean, nothing has happened for me to boot them down. Come on, man.
I don't know why Pep keep doing this, man.
It's the new debate segment.
Yeah. You gotta get some kind of music, Pep.
we got to put that in there, man. I like that.
I mean, come on, A. They've been at 2 all season. There ain't no reason for me to pull them down. They still undefeated, right?
Got in here.
Any more questions? What's up? What's up, producer?
What's up, man? I got here just in time, man. I would have missed that.
Carry on, man. Carry on.
We got a new debate segment, man. I like it.
I'll find you some music, man. I'll find you some music tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't got no game this week, baby. I got to argue with somebody.
Nell Will says Havelock at New Bern on Friday is a big one.
I got New Bern.
Interesting.
New Bern 27, Havelock 21.
All right. State champs pulling it out. Okay. All right, let's look at 2A. New number one.
A couple changes. Number one team, Reedsville, went down last week, so had to pull up number 2, which is East Duplin, who are defending state 2A champions, by the way.
Lord have mercy.
Salisbury put the thing on the 3A team up my way. Clinton doing what they do. Forest Hills, Monroe, of course, I dropped down Reedsville. Northeastern getting it together. Bunker Hill did what they supposed to do last week. And the last 2 teams, Cleveland County representing Burns and Shelby.
Lord have mercy.
What now? What now, Big Eye Shelby? What you got to say now, baby?
I want him to elaborate on that.
Pep, I just got a question.
What's up?
Is Eastern Alamance worse than the team East Duplin beat?
No.
So how did you get knocked down to 6?
Wins and losses, baby.
Hey, you stand tall. You stand tall on that. I give you respect. It's all about wins and losses.
Wins and losses. And I know some people probably gonna say something about me having Shelby.
I will say, only change I would make, Burns and Shelby is better than Bunker Hill.
Absolutely.
I mean, hey, you're right. But hey, Bunker Hill's undefeated. Burns has 2 losses. Shelby has 3 losses.
Who has Bunker Hill played that's better than the team Burns and Shelby played?
What I just say? Wins, dubs, and L's.
Oh,
all that would be worked out at the end of the season. Trust me.
Well, so how did Shelby get in at number 10 at 1 and 3?
Schedule.
Oh man, you backpedaling.
Oh,
you backpedaling.
Hey, listen.
Don't backpedal.
Burns and Shelby has had the hardest non-conference 2A schedule in Monroe. Monroe, Shelby, Burns. The hardest schedule. You backpedaling now.
So it's wins and losses, and then sometimes strength of schedule.
Lord Jesus.
Conditionally, the strength of schedule.
It's Big Shelby. What can I say?
Hey, all I know is this next segment better be right.
But hey, before we go, what about Community School of Davidson? Right? Look,
what about them? They lost last week.
Yeah, barely by your number 14.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Wins and losses.
Wins and losses.
They're undefeated.
The schedule will get you the 9th and 10th spot.
Look, the only loss in the season was to your number 14. So they 3-1.
Hey, Coach Dub.
They sit at number 11.
Coach Dub, you remember y'all had a ball when you got kicked out the top 10.
God.
They at number 11. Just couldn't fit on the page. I got you.
No love for the.
Oh God!
And this 40 got kicked out the top 10.
And follow. This is go ahead and switch number 10 and 11 to make Big Eye Shelby happy.
CSD should be number 10.
Number 10. Shelby's number 11. You just had a change of heart.
CSD.
No, I'm not doing that. No, but y'all no. They're number 11.
He said he won't be bullied.
Nah, y'all ain't messing with me tonight.
Hey, Pep, put the comment on the screen, Pep. Put the comment on the screen, Pep.
Which one?
You gonna see it.
Oh
man, got an email.
Oh, come on, Summer. You gonna do me like that, Summer?
Oh, you first name basis, huh?
Summer never comes for anybody, boy. You got to Well, these comments. Okay. Well,
let's go CSD, man. Let's go, baby.
Well, let's see. Coach Hunt said, shout out to my cousin Ryan Hunt, the DC at Clinton.
I did see a video with Clinton. Clinton got some pretty good players.
Yeah. Chat administrator says Cleveland County is greater than Bunker Hill. All right.
Hey, chat administrator, man. Hey, man, he don't know what he don't know.
Oh gosh. Connect reminds us that it's fluid.
Hey, Pep, put Gaither up there.
Okay.
My point. This is my point.
Okay. I'm not saying they couldn't.
All right, let's go to 1A. Friday night, go right ahead.
I mean, pretty much everybody in 1A doing what they do. I was really the only difference I made was drawing. I put them in the top 10. Eastern Randolph moved up. Everybody moved up one spot last week, so it's pretty much the same in 1A.
Has Mount Island lost a game this year?
No.
No, we undefeated.
Undefeated. Started top 4?
No,
we wasn't even in rankings.
Wasn't in there.
Wasn't in the rankings. Won by 40. Got put in the rankings. Had a bye week. Got kicked out the rankings.
What you want me to say, man?
Has any of those teams in front of Mount Island lost yet?
No.
Andrews. See, come on.
Lost the game?
Yeah.
No.
They lost last week.
Andrews didn't lose last week, man.
You sure?
Pep. Is that T.W. Andrews?
1 through 8 are all undefeated. Is that what we're saying?
Is that T.W. Andrews?
No, that's Andrews in the mountains. He talking about T.W. Andrews.
No, we're gonna find out. Hold on. Andrews High School Max Preps.
That's good.
1A Andrews. Search.
Andrews Wildcats.
Get them.
Are 3-1, baby.
Oh man.
Hey, not only did they lose last week, they lost 20-3.
They only scored 3 points.
How many yards did Reggie Daniels have the other night, Coach Dove?
364 yards receiving.
So look, you got to do some schedule change. You got to do some rankings changing.
I got you.
Flipping on this paper.
You want to do it now?
And I'm gonna tell y'all something. The dark horse in that is Corvian. Somebody mentioned them. They the dark horse. Don't sleep on Corvian.
Coach Peavy says they should have beat CSD.
I got you.
Up by 2 touchdowns.
Y'all got him. Hey, I take it.
Mount Island Charter is 3-0 with 40-0 win, 24-21 win, 42-13 win.
And I predicted all the scores just about right. So what's your point?
Except for Andrews.
Hey, you're right. I got that wrong. Facts. I man up here. Hey, I man up.
Yeah,
I got that. I botched that one.
Oh, it's all love, bro. It's all love.
Oh, hey, I love it, baby. I love it.
All right, Friday night. I'll take you off the hot seat now. Coach. Oh man.
Because Star Mount and Mount Airy got to play.
Yep.
So,
all that would be worked out, brother.
Hey, upset alert! I'm just telling you.
Star Mount over Mount Airy.
Just be on the watch. Watch out for that one.
Oh, trust me.
Star Mount.
In my mind.
Oh, they play next week. Maybe that could be game of the week, baby. Put a pick them on it.
All right, let's go.
What they playing at?
I don't know where they play.
It's at Mount Airy.
Mount Airy.
Mount Airy.
Well, I'll go with Mount Airy at Mount Airy, but don't watch out for Star Mount.
I feel you, baby. 4D1. I mean, 4A transfers from Reagan. I'm already on.
All right. Dirty Dozen. So Providence Day is at 1, Butler 2, Crest 3, Weddington 4, Northwestern at 5. And then on down the line. And you see at 12 is J.M. Robinson. The team that nobody else but Football Focus Weekly talks about.
There it is.
We show love to everybody.
The most influential prep football show on the East Coast.
Hold on, Kenneth. Say it again.
The most influential prep football show on the East Coast.
And that I put on my mama.
Facts.
Any thoughts on the Dirty Dozen?
I was going to keep my thoughts to myself.
I appreciate you just settling down once you're done with Friday night.
I like them. I think they're where they're supposed to be at. The damn point.
Agreed.
Well, things are starting to settle out now. We're getting into conference play. We've seen enough,
It's a new season now, baby.
Pre-conference, yeah, exactly. So we're getting the idea of where everybody's kind of settling in. But, when we get into some of these conferences, it's going to be a war every Friday night for sure.
Oh, Joe Hughes, man.
Oh, wow.
So for you guys that don't know, last year we did a whole NWO episode because we felt like we were getting attacked by a lot of people. And we've turned over a new leaf. We're not as controversial, man. We're like the new watered down WWE. That's what we're like.
Oh man.
Oh man.
I don't know. Let's think of another analogy. We'll come back.
Oh man. All right. Here we go. County rankings. Let's take a look. Let's get the thing up there. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Best of last. I forgot my own order. I put it out on Instagram. I didn't have as many people arguing, so I think we're getting closer to what it is. Butler at 1, Malley Creek 2, West Charlotte 3. Malley Creek and West Charlotte play Thursday night. We're going to talk about it in a few minutes. And then Chambers, Huff, Indy, Providence, AK, North Meck, Olympic, and then on down the line. Thoughts on the best of last?
I think one could say West Charlotte could be number one.
How?
Undefeated.
See, I was gonna use they're undefeated. They beat everybody in front of them. Butler slipped up a little bit with Roseville, and I know they beat the a nationally ranked team, but they did slip up. West Charlotte hasn't slipped up.
That was week 1, though.
I know. And you know how I feel about week 1 games. They're gonna be sloppy, but I'm just saying for the sake of looking at like who's undefeated, who's faced everyone in front of them, West Charlotte's done it. They stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think they're finding ways to win week in and week out, and they're doing a great job. But unlike Friday night's poll, I consider who you play and when you play them. Those are two major factors. When I do my poll, and it's no slight at you, Friday night. I'm just saying. I'm just explaining the rationale here.
I understand.
He did put emphasis on that unlike. But
unlike, yeah.
He sure did. I picked it out.
I'm just explaining myself. That's all I'm doing.
It's all good, bro.
Hang on. Coach Doug, you're trying to start stuff, man.
Hey, I'm an innocent bystander.
Well, I mean, West Charlotte controls their own destiny. They win tomorrow, they automatically go to 2 at minimum.
At minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
Or 1.
Depending on what. Well, no. They'll at 2 at minimum. I was thinking about Butler.
Yeah. Butler. Especially what they got this week.
I wasn't gonna go into that, but
yeah. Well,
Butler is playing Garinger this week.
Right.
Oh boy.
But like I say, West Charlotte controls their own destiny. It all sort out in the end anyway. Like you said earlier, it all works itself out.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Summer Blevins with the Dub C and the Ford Boys. That's their new saying this year. Terrell Pinckney says South Point versus South Florence is a good one come Friday, and Gaffney and Northwestern. Yep. 2 good games. We picked South Point, South Florence last year, and we all picked South Point, and then South Florence just blew out South Point. So I didn't put that game on here this year. I think South Florence might have found out, our picks and used that for some motivation. So we're gonna keep quiet on that one. All right, and then Summer says if Dubsy wins tomorrow, big statement made. Yeah, definitely.
I agree with that.
I agree.
It'll be a good defensive game.
Yeah.
Nothing, so.
Producer will be there tomorrow night. Be exciting to see both of these teams. Be the first time I've seen both of these teams up. Well, no, we saw Mallard Creek. We were not allowed in the stadium with media pass issues.
Yeah, we ain't see him up close, but we saw him.
We saw him from the top of the parking deck across the street. So
we saw.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it looked like old school football video game, like way up top, like Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. But anyway, all right. Let's go to the county rankings, and there is J.M. Robinson at number 1, the team we do not talk about for the 4th week in a row.
I agree with all that.
Deservingly so. They deserve to be up there.
Yeah, man. I see Concord rising up, man. Don't sleep on Concord.
Shout out to Coach Shep.
Coach Shep, man. One of the best in the business.
And you got some thoughts?
Where you are in the season right now is probably a pretty good list. Cannon School is 3-1. Their one loss was to Providence Day last week. Obviously, Hickory Ridge is 0-4, but the talent they have on that team is not an 0-4 talent team. No, I think that's pretty good for where we are right now, Pep.
Yeah, I've seen Hickory Ridge. Well, I saw their JV against Chambers, and they played Chambers really good in a half before the rain came. But talking to Jupiter for a little bit, he still feels like he feels confident that they can get some things fixed and get it turned around. As you said earlier, Big Eye Shelby, it's conference season, it's a new season, and they played a hard schedule. And that and in theory that prepares you, for your conference schedule. So, it's a bit of a reset time for them, and they've got a big game this week against A.L. Brown that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. All right, let's take a look at Cleveland County. No real changes there. Any thoughts?
Nah, none of this will get settled until the last game of the year.
Yeah. Someone earlier asked when Crest and Kings Mountain play.
The Crest and Kings Mountain play each other the last game of the year. That's probably shaping up for the conference championship. And Burns and Shelby play each other at the last game of the year for the conference championship.
Yeah, so there's your answer, Nick.
Both of them last week of the regular season.
Yeah.
But Cleveland County better be off the chain.
Yeah, it kind of sucks now that it's like that because people got to kind of pick and choose what game they want to go to.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. So I'm sure those games will have those big 50-50 pots, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think Crest pot might be for the last game of the year. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. I know Crest pot last time I looked, I think it was like 130,000, 140,000.
Good gracious! I gotta get in.
Try to go on some tickets.
Yeah, Chris, if y'all got some online payment options, man, just let us know. We can get in on that. I'm not winning in Powerball, I'll tell you that much.
And me and our pick'ems.
We'll get to that later on. Gaston County.
I would change 2 and 1, but that's just me. That's just me, man. All I'm gonna say is, man, hey, man, they right down the street, baby.
When do they play, Coach Dub? When y'all play South Point this year, East Gaston?
East Gaston or South Point won't play us.
They won't play them. It's been for years. I have never seen a Gaston County team come to the island for a real game.
Wait. Sorry, I think my Wi-Fi messed up. Say that one more time. When y'all play South Point at East Gaston?
They don't play us.
They won't play them.
Y'all don't play South Point at East Gaston?
They won't play them. Scared to go to the island and drown.
I've sent emails. I actually got coaches that worked on both staffs, and they won't play us.
They won't play them. They're scared to play them. They won't play that. They won't go to the island, man, because they can't swim.
We gotta change that. Pep, when we get the Football Focus Weekly, season opener, man. Let's get a big time game like a Mountain Island versus a South Point or a Mountain Island versus the East Gaston, man. That would be huge.
I think we're gonna have to do it in the CFI Classic Jamboree because they won't play a regular season game.
You ever seen a raptor run on the island? They scared. I'm trying to tell you, listen, they're terrified, man.
We really want to week one.
Gosh.
Whatever week they play core. I would love to play East Gaston next year. I'm ready.
I would give Thomas Jefferson credit. For years, Shelby wanted to play Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson wanted to play Shelby. They absolutely have no chance to beat Shelby or Burns, but they'll sit there and play them games because that's what the fans want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, because they know when the game at TJ, it's a good game.
And we can make it happen because Darius made the Jamboree happen. He wanted to play us. He made it a point of emphasis to play us. And while it was a scrimmage, because we already had our schedule set, I only got 1 year contract. So from week 1 to 4, I'll play any of those teams.
Play any of them.
I'll play any of them. South Point, East Gaston, Hunter House, Forest View, any of them. Ashbrook.
But
any
we
of
only want a team in that top 7 because the other ones guys that probably don't stand.
Whoa! You said we. You said we.
My family and my cousin. I'm right with cousins. My
No,
hey, all my home.
Bye week Big Eye is just out of control.
So do a lot of I'm just trying to understand what you're saying, Coach Dub. Do a lot of South Point or East Gaston kids, do they transfer to the Mount Allen or?
Nah. I mean, obviously, our first couple years we had more slots, meaning kids from the outside could get in. But our school is pretty much at capacity. None of them kids. We had one transfer this year, and it was from another charter school.
Kenneth, they scared.
Not at Gaston County School.
Mm-mm.
Hashtag they can't swim.
Have you ever seen the Raptor run on a island?
That's why, like, and shout out to all those teams. I'm not taking nothing away from them, but there's no way you can, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could claim to be one of the top teams in the county. You won't play a team in your city. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be a good matchup.
Shout out to Coach Darius.
Make it happen.
Wanting to play. Got it done for them guys this year. But South Point, East Gaston, Forest View, you know, hey, North Gaston, hey, man, hey, he ain't hard to find, baby. He down the street.
I got 4 weeks open next week. First 4 weeks. I'll play any of y'all any week.
What you
Get
saying?
it started, Fowler. Friday night, tell him. He looking for 4 games.
I got him.
Three and 4 weeks. 3 and 4 weeks.
Preferably 2 Gaston County teams.
I got him.
Island.
I put him on the notice.
Don't wait till play them now, man. Don't be scared, man. Let's bring it back to COVID, man. Take a game off the
schedule. Union County, good gracious. I'm telling you, this is impressive, man. The top 8 teams, I'll tell you, have 1 loss. And that was Monroe's 2 losses. Marvin Ridge lost to Lake Norman. And then Monroe lost to West Charlotte.
When did are any of these teams in the same conference? Like Weddington, Porter Ridge, Marvin Ridge?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Weddington, Porter Ridge, Sun Valley. I think Marvin Ridge. Yeah, they're all in the same league. Monroe and Forest Hills are in the same league.
Yeah.
Ain't
Cumberson's in that same league with Weddington and Porter Ridge.
Yeah, Cumberson in that conference with them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be some good football, man. And Friday night, I'm planning to go to Porter Ridge at Monroe. And I think that's gonna be a really fun game to watch. Their quarterback, we'll talk about it later. It's in the preview, but 2 athletic teams, really well coached on both sides, and number 2 and number 3, man. So hopefully we'll get down to Monroe and catch some good Union County football on Friday night. All right. Any other thoughts on Union County?
Well, go about right.
Maybe Forest Hills and Sun Valley I'd switch, but pretty close.
You know, I thought that was a tough one I thought about. You know, Sun Valley really impressed me when they beat Myers Park. They really did. That was an impressive win because
put up a lot of points this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Brady Turf and his receiver. I can't remember. He wears number 1. I can't remember his name right now. But man, they really are playing well. They really are. Coach Hunt. Yeah, I know we talked about that. Yeah, we sure did.
Shout out. Yeah, they got a good linebacker over there at Sun Valley. Brandon Creech.
Yes, he's tagged me in his highlights. Absolutely, it's a good call right there.
And we talked about this last week. This is probably one of the top 5 conferences in the state, if you're looking at it.
Yeah. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, absolutely. All right. What's up, Mizzle? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I'll be here at the start, Mizzle. Come on now. All right. Iredell County, man, Chattanooga Strike. I got to scroll all the way up and get back to your Iredell County rankings. We got a lot of comments tonight.
I don't think he posted them yet.
There you go.
He did. He posted. Yep. There you go.
Ooh, wow. Are you looking to get thrown out of Mooresville Nation?
That's a big difference between you and him with Pine Lake.
Well, the thing about Pine Lake has some injuries.
Oh.
Yeah, they lost to Lake Norman Charter last week.
He was down a couple starters.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's why I've got them where they got them. But, still, I got to shout out Iredell County. These teams are playing much better this year as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
They really are, man. And that's a shout out to the coaches in that county doing a great job. So, Chat Administrator also said, before you get on me about Lake Norman being number one, he says both are undefeated and they have the two best quality wins of the two teams so far. Okay. All right. I mean, you can tell us, but your Mooresville family, I mean, Caleb Evchin already called you out before, so.
Might get an egg on the car tomorrow.
He'll get home from work. Tire gonna be flat.
Oh man. Joe Hughes says Statesville baffles me. We talked about Statesville. I mean, we felt like Coach was challenging his team, in the non-conference part of the schedule. But now they've started to play better. I mean, they got on the board, in the win column. I know everybody was kind of concerned when they were starting out, I think, 0-2. But, I mean, they've shown improvement week in and week out now. The administrator says, good thing I'll be at South Ireton. Wow. Running from your people, man. That ain't a good look. It's not a good look. All right. Rowan County, I almost put the gap in this week. But North Rowan sitting at 3-1 Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, not bad, man. But Salisbury's still, number one by far, and then you got the rest of Rowan County right there.
Yeah, they went on the road. They went on the road last week and beat a good 3A team last week. Salisbury did. Beat them down on their home field. So
they're looking strong, man. They're looking strong. I think you got to consider them as a state title contender once again.
Right.
The younger Walker committed to Georgia State as well this weekend. So, older brothers at UGA, younger brothers going to Georgia State.
That's good stuff, man.
That's what's up right there.
All right. Any other Rowan County thoughts? Oh, whoops. Stanley County, North Stanley back on top.
There it is.
They won the Battle of Oakboro 26-16. And they reclaimed the number one spot in Stanley County. South, you know what, man? I'm going to tell you something. When I picked South Stanley, they lost. And then they won again last week. They're 2-2, man. South Stanley, you got to shout them out, man.
Messed up one of my picks last week, too.
Yeah, hey, definitely, because they didn't even have a head coach a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, he got hired late. He's doing a great job down there.
Who's that coach at South Stanley?
Yeah,
he's an alum of the school. That's all I know. I don't know his name.
Yeah, I'll tell you in a second.
Whoever it is, shout out to him, man. That's tough to get in there, and that team they lost every game last year, right?
And they there was talks about folding the football program. They the rough ending last year.
Terry Schenkel is the South Stanley football coach.
Hey, shout out to Coach.
Go ahead.
Now, shout out to Coach Schenkel, man. That what you doing down there is phenomenal, man.
Absolutely. He's a 2009 graduate. Wow. That's awesome. Assistant coach at Northwoods, Anson, and Eastern Randolph before taking over South Stanley. That's good stuff, man.
We might have to get him on the show. I would love to have him up here, talk to him. Got that coach going the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's big, man. Because you guys that may not know, South Stanley was, like Kenneth said, they're thinking about folding the program. I mean, it was bad. Didn't they end their season early?
They Ironically, it was J.M. Robinson week. They didn't have enough kids to play, and the varsity was going to fold, and just I don't know exactly what all went down, but it was a rough end to the fall season for the Running Rebels.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, awesome, good stuff, man. All right, South Carolina, Northwestern back on top. South Point. I'll tell you, South Carolina's been interesting, man, because people are just kind of knocking each other off, and I know I'm having to shuffle this every week. The biggest surprise to me is Catawba Ridge. Usually they've been, top 5, when I looked at South Carolina, but, they lost last week to RG Kell, they lost to Charlotte Christian. I mean, they're losing the quality programs, but, these guys are kind of knocking them off a little bit. Indian Land back at 3 because Nation Ford lost. Clover beat York. That was a little surprise to me. But any thoughts on the upstate?
I think this looks good. Whatever you say or Joe use. Joe knows South Carolina football.
Well, Joe's weighing in. He's mad at Nations Ford. Why are you mad at Nations Ford, Joe? Yeah, tell us why you're upset at them. We've been to Nations Ford. Purdue, you remember when we went down there?
Yeah, like what, 2020
Y'all
maybe?
played the whole game?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
They weren't up 56-3.
And they I'll tell you, man, they had Hardee's cheeseburgers? Didn't they have Hardee's cheeseburgers?
You have to check your food notes on that one, but I'm gonna believe. I'm gonna agree with you. Yeah,
I had a pretty good cheese. I think it was a Hardee's cheeseburger. You never see that, man. That was pretty good. It was pretty good. But Joe says they janky. Oh, all right. Well, that's your hard hitting analysis on CFI. Thanks, Joe.
That's an excellent quote, man. That's an excellent quote, man.
But he does know that the Hardee's no longer exist.
So what was y'all eating?
No, I think it's gone now.
It was there then. Yeah. This was like 2020, I think. Because we went there because Charlotte wasn't playing in fall of 20. That's what it was. There was nobody playing in Charlotte. So we basically did all South Carolina games that fall.
Man, we went to Irmo in the playoffs.
Yep, I remember that.
Talking about CFI don't know South Carolina. What? What? Wrong with you. All right. I'm sorry.
So from now on, when anyone says you don't like, you know what to say. They janky. You can use that, man.
We'll definitely use that. All right. Any other thoughts on South Carolina? All right. Here's that time for week 5 games for discussion. First up on the docket, West Charlotte is taking on Mallard Creek. This is a Thursday night game because CMS does not play this Friday due to Jewish
Hashanah, maybe.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenneth.
I'm expecting low scoring.
Yeah, that's definitely my first thought on here.
Yeah,
2 really good defenses with talented guys on that side of football on both sides.
Which means extra points and conversions are big in that type of game.
Yes, sir.
It'll come down to whose defense can score the most points.
I got Mallard Creek 20-13.
All right. Thank you, Friday night. We talked about the defenses being really important, but my 2 guys to highlight are on the offensive line for both teams. So I feel like if you can establish the line of scrimmage, and like most games, you establish the line of scrimmage, you're able to run the football. Both of these teams want to run the football at their core. West Charlotte's got a big guy, Fennell Marshall, 6'5", 300+ pounds. He's got offers from schools like Gardner Webb. And then Mallard Creek, Umar Rockhead, prototypical left tackle, 6'4", great length, great size, about 285 pounds, committed to Charlotte. Whichever team is able to run the football in this game, as you guys said, it's going to be low scoring. It's going to be defensive oriented. If you're able to run the football, you limit the chance of turnovers. So really, really big, important game to start off the conference schedule in the Queen City. That's going to be a war from now on the rest of the season. Me and producer will be at this game. We'll have highlights and pictures like we always do. I plan to get there pretty early because I want to try to get some pregame pictures, something that, we don't really do too often. And we'll be like the cool kids and film people warming up, which is still crazy to me. I don't know if y'all watch these highlight videos, but they got music and they got warm ups.
I was gonna say you have to put music over it if you're gonna do it.
No, I'm taking pictures. I'm not, to do all that stuff is a special talent, by the way. Guys like Zayflix and our guy One Shay shot him. Shaquan is new to us this year. He went and got a camera. He's doing great stuff. And, it's only going to be a matter of time before he blows up like Zayflix did a couple years ago.
DW Media, too. Shout out to him. He did ours this week. Phenomenal job.
Yeah. I mean, those guys, you don't understand. If you don't do that stuff, the technical ability to sit there and slow-mo all that video, put the music over it, and then do the edits and, all that stuff. And then the amount of money you have to spend to get a camera that has those clear images on it, it's a couple $1,000s. I mean, we have a camera that can do it. But you got to get a lens on top of that. So I didn't mean to get into technical video.
Man. I'm gonna say, all that stuff, man, it's a lot, man. Like those guys that do it, man, there's just a very special gift and talent. And they put a lot of time and effort to those things. I know B-Roll Productions do ours, Rod Carter and Bradford Brooks do ours for Independence. And I know our guy T-Flix always take pictures of us. Tyree Glenn, they used to play Independence last year, do photos for us. So, yeah, those guys, man, they do a good job.
Absolutely. And, I'm glad you mentioned that because there's a lot of former players that are getting into this stuff. And they'll reach out to me. The young man that played receiver at Butler last year, Eli Sylvester, he takes pictures and did a great job. He took pictures at the Queen City Senior Bowl last year.
Is that Shot by 7 by YG7?
Oh gosh, I forgot. Instagram gets crazy with these names. But yeah, I can't keep up.
Shot by 10, shot by G7. Good guys right there.
Yeah. Next Gen checking in. Yes, sir. He's another one. He really kind of started that trend, with Chambers and all the great stuff they've been doing. So Big Guy, you ever get your pictures?
I was just thinking about that. I was just going
All right. Well, that no answer is an answer. So
and me out there in the heat.
Thank you, Jerron. Slide 10. That's Eli Sylvester's name on Instagram. Thank you for that. Tajon, shout out to Tally Red, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I love Tally Red because I'm gonna tell you, when we did a CFI camp at Olympic, he came out there and on his own. I didn't even tell him. He just showed up and was taking pictures and did a great job. And he's helped out some programs that didn't have any representation, and that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about right there. That's good stuff.
Next did come by and bless the Independence boys. So
yeah, absolutely. All right, so Nikisha, you're early. It's not time for slime time. We just started previews. Come on, Nikisha, you've been here every week. You know how the show roll. Oh, you excited me. All right. Friday night, I don't have to talk to you about Nikisha. All right. Next game is Charlotte Catholic taking on Providence. This is also a Thursday game. This is going to be a fun game right here. I'm excited about this one. And I'm highlighting Charlotte Catholic's quarterback, Charlie Smith. He was at our HBCU showcase a couple years ago and came out of nowhere when he was at Charlotte Latin and won top 5 quarterback with his performance. He's doing a really great job in Catholic's offense this year when they kind of throw it around a little bit more under Coach Riley. And then for Providence, it's Spencer McKell at DB, and he's got a lot of offers from different college programs, and under the radar a little bit, but doing a really good job for an improved Providence defense. I think this is a sneaky good game coming up Thursday night. You guys got any thoughts?
Oh yeah, man, that'll be a good conference opener. It could shake things up first game. So, a lot of eyes will be on that game. So, yeah, that's a good one, man. I think it can go either way.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think a lot of people are talking about it. But Providence, they played really well when they beat South Meck a couple weeks ago. I mean, they beat them 46-0, and I think that game opened up some eyes because Providence is not known for blowing people out that way. But their new offense with Coach Giddings from Hickory Ridge as the offensive coordinator and Jackson DB throwing the football around, it is good stuff, man. It is good stuff. All right. The game that I'm looking at going to Friday night, Porter Ridge at Monroe. This is a big game in Union County. They're number 2 and number 3 in our Union County rankings. The guys I want to highlight are some really talented young men that are getting a lot of recruiting attention. Jared Lockhart for Porter Ridge at quarterback. Oh, my gosh. You look at his highlights, it looks like a young Cam Newton because Porter Ridge runs that spread option. I mean, if you just look at it, it looks like Cam Newton at Auburn. It really does, man. It's really, really good stuff. And then for Monroe, Jaden Young, who's a big Power 5 recruit. We saw him in the playoffs last year at Burns. A great athlete on both sides of the football. He's very fluid, agile, great speed, does special things with the football in his hands. Thoughts on Porter Ridge and Monroe?
Yo, shout out to my guy, Dylan Fulmer, played offensive tackle for me at Concord. He's now the defensive line coach at Porter Ridge. He's doing a really nice job. I'm going to get up there to see you one day, buddy. Stinking boys practice on Fridays, man. But that should be a good game, Pep.
Slime time.
I got Porter Ridge 28-21.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. Porter Ridge did win that game last year. The cool thing about this game is Monroe, or I think the Shrine Bowl actually, is honoring Monroe head coach Johnny Soul with a jacket for being named the head coach for the North Carolina Shrine Bowl team. I think they're doing that pregame. Yeah. Yeah, it's well deserved, man. Congratulations to Coach Soul. That's good stuff, man. Really good guy. Really good guy. Jason Bass says them Clark boys in the trenches for Porter Ridge. Yeah, they came to our HBCU showcase 2 years ago, and they showed out. They showed out, man. Really talented, and they come from a good family. They really do. Really good young men. Coach Hunt says Melton, the kickoff returner for Monroe, leads the nation in return yards. I did see that. I saw that on Twitter, and that's per Max Preps. So, I mean, don't get no better than that. I'm sorry, Big Eye, what was it?
I said Monroe has some guys. I think one of the kids, if that's not him, has an Alabama offer.
Yeah, that's Jaden Young. Yeah, I just talked about him.
They have some guys in Monroe.
Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about Ziggy Harris earlier, Coach. Absolutely. He was one of the Pet Man players this week. Great job at corner. Really good speed. He's going to be tested this week. That's going to be a good matchup to watch on the outside because Monroe likes to put it up in the air. That's going to be fun stuff. I'm excited. Excited to check it out. Producer, you coming with me on that one?
We'll see how much gas is in the car, but more than likely, yeah.
We'll give you a CFI gas card supplement on that one.
Oh, y'all heard that?
We did.
He gonna edit that out the show.
Oh man, no. I got you. Just so I'll throw this in. I didn't share with. I only told Kenneth this, but as you guys know, I write for Prep Red Zone, and I did an article about the CFI Classic Jamboree, and it came out that article was number 1 in the nation on Prep Red Zone for August.
Oh.
So when that happens, you get a bonus. So it's CFI, man.
We like bonus.
Nationwide. So yeah, I got you. I got your gas supplement.
Hey, check out what Joe said.
Well, the funny thing is, we haven't been covering that many games. I mean, Shaquan has been going to games, but besides me and producer, we ain't covered that many games. So, we got some good money on there. Got some good money on there, man. Thank you, Derek Howell. Every now and then. All right. Cabarrus County time. And when it's Cabarrus County time, we go to the king of Cabarrus County, the engine for A.L. Brown at Hickory Ridge.
Yeah, it probably sounds funny to say this so early in the season, week 5. But the truth is, this is a must-win game for both teams. A.L. Brown sitting at 2-1. They beat South Rowan, they beat West Rowan, but they lost to Northwest Cabarrus. And, of course, we talked about earlier, Hickory Ridge 0-4. They've lost to J.M. Robinson. They've lost to Indy. They've lost to Porter Ridge. And they lost to Chambers as well. So this is a really key game, man. Going into conference season, these teams want to fix the ship. They want to show where they're going to be headed. Of course, for Kannapolis, it all starts with their quarterback, C.J. Gray. He's a throwing threat. He's a running threat, and he's getting better and better every single week. Of course, at wide receiver, the names that we've talked about a lot, Gerard Evans, Derek Brazil, Xavier Chambers, Mekhi Harris, the running back, is averaging over 100 yards a game so far. The big offensive lineman, I've talked about him since he was a freshman, Ty Buster, just picked up a couple more offers as recently as this week. And then on defense, man, they're led by guys, Massey and Nash and Chaz Knox, who is a transfer who I mentioned a few weeks ago as well. And then, of course, for Hickory Ridge, man, it all starts with that big old 6'5", 240-pound quarterback who can throw it the length of a football field. Haywood, he's got, it's well in over a dozen touchdowns, I think, by now through the first 4 games. Of course, Jalen Harris we know about. But the guy that we met this spring, Pep, Dominic Testa, who just balled out at our summer showcase. He's got 4 touchdowns on the young year already. Connor Schulman is doing a great job running the ball for him. I've talked to some coaches who've seen them play. They all talk about their running back and how well he's doing. Of course, Hickory Ridge is known for their offensive line. And then defense is led by Toby Turner as well. But this is a huge matchup. It's at Hickory Ridge. Well, Hickory Ridge, I don't know where they're playing this game, Pep, to be honest with you. I rode by Hickory Ridge's field last week. They've got the new turf in, but I'm not sure where this game is being played.
I think is it the first game on their new turf? Is it ready?
I mean, the turf was out there. I rode by the other day. It was raining. There were men working out there. I have no idea. If it's ready, good for them. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane that they turned that around that fast. I mean, shout out to the Cabarrus County school system for all that stuff. So Nick Canales says it's the first game at Hickory Ridge. The field is done.
Wow. Well, It looked beautiful. I drove past it with the kid driving. I drive a lot of Harrisburg kids. The other day we drove past it, and it looked amazing. It was a beautiful field. What was finished already.
Yeah, man, good stuff. That's awesome. I know we had the debate earlier about turf versus grass, but I mean, that's really amazing to turn that around and get that done in a couple months. I mean, I'll tell you, at Harding in 2003, we were supposed to get a turf field, and we played on the road all season, and all they did was put in 2 new concession stands. So
Northwest Cabarrus is the only school in Cabarrus County now with natural grass.
Now I'm sure they're next, right?
I mean, they had the worst field to begin with, so they should have been first.
Oh man, I won't get into those. I got some stories. I remember we covered you guys when y'all were both undefeated. Yeah,
not a good night for the Vikings.
Yeah, that wasn't the game you threw the flag, was it?
I think it is.
That was absolutely the game I
That
threw the
is.
flag.
I remember. I was there too.
I didn't like where the linesman put the flag. He put it a little bit too close to me, so I decided to throw it up in the student section, let them play with it. Sorry, rascal.
Kenny, you threw a flag?
So we were 7-0 the week before. We had just beaten A.L. Brown for the first time in Central Cabarrus history. Beat him in overtime, but it wasn't that close. And before the game, the stadium was packed, and the line judge came up to me and he goes, "Hey, coach, whatever you need to do to get my attention, I know it's going to be loud. You do it. If you need to run onto the field, if you need to tap me on the shoulder, whatever." So we go to Northwest Cabarrus. We're 7-0. They're 7-0. And if you've ever been to Northwest Cabarrus, it's about the size of a pillbox. Like a field is obviously 120 yards by 52 1/3. Well, their stadium is about 122 yards by 53 yards. Like we tell our coaches, like, make sure you're facing the field because if you whisper in a kid's ear, their mama in the top row is going to hear it. So the stadium is packed. It is so loud. We've got the ball down inside the 5-yard line, their 5-yard line. And I effed up, made a bad play call. And so I'm hollering for timeout. So I start running down, past the coach's box, timeout. Well, they throw a flag, and I'm hollering, "Did you get my timeout? Did you get my timeout?" And the linesman looks at me and he goes, "We got your flag." And I said, "Did you get my timeout before you threw the flag?" And he goes, "Coach, you better back off this field." I said, "Did you get my timeout?" Next thing I know, he takes it and he throws it and hits me right in the foot. We were playing awful, man. Our kids were just dead. There were a lot of reasons for that, but Northwest was fired up. We were not. So I was trying to fire my kids up. So I picked up the flag and I threw it over my head, trying to get the kids excited. It didn't work out. We still got beat pretty good, but yeah, I threw a flag.
I like the football equivalent of like a Bobby Knight outburst.
Coach, my first game as a head coach at Northwest Cabarrus, coaching at Northwest Cabarrus, my end zone cameraman got ejected from the game. My end zone cameraman got ejected from the game. And then he had a work truck. He had like a big boom lift, scissor lift that was attached to the back of his work truck. Well, the backside of the visitor stand at Northwest Cabarrus is a gravel little erosion pit is what it is. And he couldn't get his work truck up the pit. So he's spinning out. Rocks are flying. It was like a 35-minute delay. True story, man.
Well, coaching confessions. There you go.
Someone asked for that segment too last week.
Yeah, a couple people did. Coach Jenkins, man, he was on here, and he didn't pull no punches. So, yeah, I thought about cutting that stuff up, but then I thought better of it. Watch the live show. That way you'll get it. All right, East Lincoln at Hickory. It's a big game. A little bit outside of our normal area, but it's an important game. Both of these teams are undefeated. Guys to watch, East Lincoln, Christopher Daly at running back. I know Big Eye Shelby, you're fond of him. He's done some big things, on the field. And very talented young man. He's got a couple of different offers, 2025 kid. And then for Hickory, Brady Stober. Really, really good, talented quarterback. I believe he's 2025 as well. Mm-hmm. Really accurate thrower of the football. And he's got some weapons at Hickory. And they just defeated Cox Mill last week. I think it was 35-15. And Coach Glass, is doing a great job. This is a landmark game for Hickory to see if they've turned the corner in putting that program back on the map.
Yep, it'll be a good measuring stick for Hickory, taking on the defending 3A champs. East Lincoln's running back, like you said, Christopher Daly, man, he's a guy, man. I still think he's not getting the credit he deserves, man. That guy, a very special player, man. I think he's about 5'11", 6 foot, at least 180, 190 pounds, man. He can fly. So East Lincoln, they also have a OC, man, Coach Matt Beam. Coach Matt Beam. Great guy, him and his son, man. Matt Beam going to have those guys ready to go like always. I know they're going to be conditioned. They're going to be strong, big and strong and fast. So, I think East Lincoln still will win this game with no problem. But, Hickory's a good chance for Hickory to see if they are who they say they are.
Absolutely. Joe Hughes wants more CFI in Lincoln County. Well, I'm be testing the limits of the gas car. This gas car got to last all season, Joe. He also says that Hickory matches up well with East Lincoln, and he beat them in 2021, and they played well last season.
Noted, Joe Hughes.
All right. Good stuff. Friday night, you picked this game?
East Lincoln 27, Hickory 20.
All right. Friday night thinks it's going to be a good game. Joe also added that this is the first big test for East Lincoln. Their opponent's record's 1-9. Same thing happened last year. Okay. All right. Big game in Hickory. Should be a big crowd. I remember Hickory used to be like, crazy, man, when they were winning state titles and all that stuff.
And when they got smoked in 1997.
All right, Friday night. Mount Tabor is taking on West Forsyth. What can you tell us about these two teams?
Two hard-nosed teams, two defensive-minded teams. Should be a hard-hitting defensive battle. I will be in attendance for this game. I'm gonna take the Titans though at home, 21-14.
Well, make sure you sit on the West Forsyth side.
I'm pretty sure I'll probably be walking around, but no, I'm gonna take the Titans with this one, 21-14.
You know he gotta make his rounds, Pep.
There's a lot of ladies to see.
How you doing?
But y'all praise.
How you doing?
Show you right.
Try to go that low, even in the morning time.
Show you right.
Show you right.
Show you right.
Show you right.
I'm gonna tell you, Friday night, man. I will tell you this, man. There's a lot of, I'm sure, single moms, of high school football players that would appreciate some attention and some love. So,
yeah, he's gonna be out there. They're gonna have a whole group of them waiting for him to come in. You gonna have a whole little fan crew right over there.
Nah, bro. It's all good, baby.
Oh man.
We'll finish up with Marvin Ridge taking on Myers Park. I think this is going to be a really good football game. For Marvin Ridge, I think the guy to watch, Jeremiah Lizuski, running back. Started watching some film on this young man. Very talented. He's got a lot of rushing yards on. He's around 700 rushing yards already on the season. And then for Myers Park, Jake Bell at linebacker. Marvin Ridge really runs the football well. Of course, Coach Leggett down there leading that offensive line always does a great job. Jake Bell will help lead the charge in trying to slow down a powerful Marvin Ridge running game that's going to try to keep a strong Myers Park passing attack off the football field. Any other thoughts on Marvin Ridge and Myers Park?
I got Myers Park in a high scoring game, 45-38.
I can see that. I definitely think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 4-quarter game. I mean, Myers Park and their losses, they've been very close in all of their losses. I mean, they lost by 3 points to Huff. They lost by 3 points to Charlotte Christian. And they lost by 1 to Sun Valley. I mean, they very easily could be 4-0.
Yep. Coach Chris James doing a good job with his first year as head coach over there, man.
Absolutely. All right. Any other thoughts? All right. It is now that time for our game predictions, who are still unsponsored, but that's all right. Well, how did we do last week? We have a new leader in first place. Producer is on top.
So I like to see.
God, man.
Undefeated weeks for Producer and Friday Night Fowler. I put them at the top of the standings.
Don't call me Friday night for nothing, baby.
Before or after midnight?
Yours truly is in third place, followed by Big Eye, Coach Dub, the Engine, and then our guest Matt Jenkins went 2-4 and was not happy about his Cherryville pick. So, That's where we stand. Producer, you got any words as being the new leader?
Nah, still a lot of work in front of me yet. Let to go. Man. Still a lot of work in front of me, man. So it's a good start, but I'm not gonna get complacent. A lot of work to be done, man. So.
All right, week 5 predictions. Here we go. So Joe says he'll be the guest for consistency's sake. So, all right, Joe, we'll share your picks, and we'll add them on. All right, here we go. Coming down the line. Charlotte Catholic at Providence. Since you guys think I never go first, I will go first. And I may shock some people and take Providence over Charlotte Catholic. Friday night.
Charlotte Catholic 34, Providence 13.
Ooh. All right, Coach Doug.
Charlotte Catholic.
Engine.
The Pope boys.
Big Eye.
I'm gonna take Catholic.
Producer.
Catholic.
Rocky River at East Mecklenburg. Friday night.
Double R.
You got a score?
I'm gonna say 28-7.
All right. Coach Dub.
East Mac.
Engine.
Rocky River.
Big Eye.
I'll take East Mac.
Producer.
Rocky River.
I'm going to ride with Coach Sanders and East Meck. See if they can get into the win column this week. All right. South Carolina action. Northwestern at Gaffney. Producer.
Jesus. Ooh, boy. Gaffney.
Big Eye.
I'm gonna take Gaffney.
Engine.
Joe Hughes seems pretty confident. Gaffney.
I see his comment. He is a Gaffney fan, though. Keep that in mind.
Oh.
Coach Dub.
Whoever Joe Hughes pick, I'm going with Joe.
Friday night.
I'm gonna go with Gaffney as well.
Man, I'm riding with my boy Turbo at Northwestern, baby. Let's go.
There it is. That's loyalty.
East Lincoln at Hickory. Engine.
Well, now I had East Lincoln, but then Joe said they ain't beaten anybody yet. You know what? They're the Mustangs, man. I'm rolling with the Mustangs.
All right. Coach Dub.
Hickory.
Big
So-
Eye.
I'm gonna go East Lincoln.
Friday night.
East Lincoln, baby.
Producer.
East Lincoln.
I'm rolling with Coach Glass and Hickory, man. And the bonus, double wins or double losses. Marvin Ridge at Myers Park. Coach Dub.
Oh, man. I was hoping I didn't get this one first. Let's go Marvin Ridge.
Friday night.
MP, baby. Myers Park.
I will take Myers Park. Producer.
Myers Park.
Big Eye.
I'm going Myers Park, man. Let's get it done, Coach James.
Engine.
Usually when Pep sounds so confident, he knows some inside information. Marvin Ridge.
Oh, well, that's your week 5 predictions right there, baby. Tough games this week, man. Tough games. And we'll see who comes out on top. Now.
My bad.
Thought it was wrestling. I thought somebody was coming out.
NWO, somebody coming in the back door. Somebody coming in with a chair.
Right. Oh, man.
Woo! All right, best of the comments, man. Oh, man. All right. You guys, time to shine. Get them in. Chat administrator. You know, we have the ability of doing that, but I don't have time.
It ain't in the budget. It ain't in the budget with the gas card, guys.
No, we can do it. We can do it. Like we talked about doing Friday night's dating segment with that music.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Ain't we doing Fallon Needs Love or something like that?
Fowler of Love.
There you go, Fowler of Love.
Fowler of Love.
Look, man.
That sounds like a 1980s song.
Tomorrow when I'm supposed to.
Oh God.
I will look at music.
Summer Blevin still wants to coach his own phone singing by invite only.
Ooh, we could sell.
Well, we could charge a premium subscription.
If you got inactive coaches, they're going to be a lot more willing to disclose certain things. So
yes.
I
did interviews with Steve Shaughnessy and Bill Geiler, and I tell you the conversations we had off camera. Oh boy, oh man, that was gold. That might be something. We might think about that. Let's see here. Derek Howell says Friday night after midnight during the quiet storm.
Yeah, that's what it turned into. After midnight, thunderstorms.
Oh boy.
We love you, bro. You know we love you.
We do love you. We do love you.
It's all love.
Otis Forsyth Jr. says Hakeem Simmons talks highly of you, Coach Kenneth, a player you used to coach. Great kid.
Yeah, crazy story about Hakeem. Not only was he a three-year all-conference player, he was an East-West game player. Had some college scholarship offers. Went out to California to a JUCO, and he transferred from changed from linebacker to offensive lineman. Played tackle, and he was not only all-conference, but he was all-California state team out there as a JUCO. And then COVID hit, and he decided to come home and become a firefighter. And, man, you want that kind of joker being a firefighter. I'll just leave it like that, man. That dude, good dude, man. Love Hakeem.
Awesome.
Thank you, Coach Forsyth, for that, man.
Chat administrator says A.L. Brown Hickory Ridge may test the endurance of the scoreboard operator. Yeah, that's potential to definitely be a high.
You'd ask my prediction on that game.
You said I asked you or I didn't?
You didn't. You didn't.
Oh, what you got?
56-35, A.L. Brown.
56-35. Wow.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Joe, talking about Providence, said they played well at Hunter Huss a week or two ago. Yeah, they did put up a pretty good showing in that game. Let's see here. Talk about media people. So Derek Howe says DW Media did so well, he made some people salty. Mm-hmm. People salty.
It was salty.
I'd be curious to more about that.
Who was salty?
It wasn't none of the people that you know.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't none of the people we know. No, it was
after the show story.
No, it was an inside person.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, they can get over it. Zay Flicks will be at West Charlotte and Mallard Creek. I'm so proud of him, man. That man's doing a great job. And he's venturing out. He's going to Atlanta on Friday. The second time he's going down to Georgia, man. I really applaud these guys, getting out, spreading their wings, and showing the talent that they have, man. It's really good stuff.
Hey, he started at the island too, by the way. His first video was at the island.
Yeah, I reached out to you. Yeah.
Little known fact. And Pep, appreciate that plug.
Yeah.
See, Pep's the man. I told him he highly connected out here in these streets. I was talking to him earlier. He said, I need to make a phone call. He skids past the secretary. He goes straight to the boss. And I'm right, Pep, on that too.
Oh, man. I appreciate that. Let's see here. We got a couple more here. I thought we had a couple more. Oh.
Gotta do a shout out, man.
Says CFI NWO will have to put together the gangs in Gaston County.
Let's go.
Well, we can't go walk around threatening people.
Now it's all love because the reality is, Pep, say it real quick. All the kids that grew up playing together. It'll be all love. It'll actually be probably bigger than anything you've seen from a non-conference game in this area.
I mean, I'm with you. I mean, well, like I said before, man, for us to do like a regular season classic sponsor game, we gotta get sponsors. I mean, we don't have sponsors. We can't do. I mean, we pulled off the Jamboree this year, but we have bigger plans. And if we're able to get the sponsor support, I mean, you'll see things that no one else is doing. I promise you that. I promise you. So there are suggestions on the Fowler Love segment. For the love of Fowler, Fowlerville Secret Garden. The work.
Definitely a secret.
Oh man, we'll work on that. We'll definitely work on that. Slick DeVille's asking you a question. He says, "What's your record look like?" I guess your overall picks record.
Right now, 228 and 52.
228 and 52. Wow,
that's a very accurate count.
And believe it or not, my first 3 or 4 weeks is usually my hardest weeks. Usually when conference season starts, that's when I really get to cook.
Absolutely.
So it's just getting too easy for you now, I see.
Hey, Fowler.
You've been doing it so long, man. It's getting easy, man.
I mean, what can I say? I know about the landscape of North Carolina high school football, baby. I ain't Friday Night Fowler for nothing, baby. What you about to say, Doug? What you about to say, Coach?
JV score update. West Charlotte beat 12-10. That's a good win for West Charlotte. JV, Mountain Creek, one of the best JV teams in the city. So,
hey, shout out to Emory McLean Jr.
Yes.
That's my little cousin. Watch out for that dude. That dude's a beast.
Yeah.
His dad was in the Shrine Bowl. He former West Charlotte alum.
I remember.
I knew.
I gotta give
JV do line up and blitz the house, baby. You better be ready.
I gotta give a big shout out to one of the best dudes around, man. Pip, you met him. Real great dude. Lawrence Ferguson. Happy birthday, my good brother. AKA Scoop Ferguson. If you're watching, happy birthday, big bro.
All right, there it is. But now it is that time because Nikisha Wicks has been waiting patiently for slime time with your favorite host. Definitely not me.
You know what time it is? It's time where we get some things off of our chest. What's been bothering us the last 7 days? Let's go ahead and start with producer Brandon. Who are you sliming on tonight?
So I had this one in my mind. I say, even if someone went before me and took it, I still was going to use it. And I'm not showing him any leniency. I'm sliming Bryce Young. I don't care if he's a rookie. He's a former Heisman Trophy winner out of the SEC. I got to hold him to the same standard I would hold any quarterback at a Panthers two-man. But through what I call clutch interceptions, unfortunately. Real big turnovers, less than 200 yards passing. So rookie in the first game, it is what it is. He's the pros now. So if you want to play in NFL, you leave yourself open to be slime. It just is what it is. So if he wants motivation to really go out and succeed in his career and never be slimed again, now he has it. That's it.
Yeah, I just hope that this week they let him play with the varsity playbook instead of the JV playbook. I mean, I'm watching the game the other day, and I'm like, man, this is like my JV offense. All quick games, no drop back, no dual reads, man. Open the playbook. That man has played with real playbooks in college. Let that man be great. Let him do it. Coach Dub, who are you slamming on this week?
I got to slime every Cowboy fan out there that's overreacting. Joe Hughes, you're included too. Y'all do this every year for the last 25, 30 years. You talk so much junk after winning and then nowhere to be found when y'all exit first or second round. If you're going to stand there and you willing to stand and pump your chest, you should be able to do it when y'all lose. Because I got a bunch of Cowboy friends, They calling me, blowing my phone up, texting me. I know you seen that. I got to get up in the morning, go to work, and I got Cowboy fans there walking around, Cowboy interior in their car, Cowboys tags in the back of their car, even Cowboy dice in their car. It's like everywhere I go, I see Cowboy fans. Keep that same energy in the second round.
There it is. There it is. Big Eyes Shelby, I'll give you a little bit of time, man. I know you've been struggling to be on time tonight. Who are you sliming?
Hey, man, I'm going to slime the opposite, man. Much as I hate the Cowboys, I'm going to just slime these Panther fans, man. Every year, y'all think something different going to happen. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Get that dude off the screen, man. Good night. Yeah, man. Who are you sliming on tonight?
In the spirit of our queen, Cherie Glenn, that's why I had to take you off. We can't have that on this show. We can't have it. But I'm sliming injuries, man. What the heck? Week 1, we got 2 guys that are out for multiple weeks. Brady Christensen is done for the season. When did he even get hurt? When did it even happen? And then J.C. Horn, the one guy we need to be healthy, is out multiple weeks, and he could be out the season. He might need surgery for a hamstring. I'm like, come on, man. And as you said, Kenneth, already, and I got an additional secondary slime. I'm sliming the Outer Banks. I was out there this weekend trying to watch the Panther game, and don't you know that's considered Washington Commanders territory? It's in North Carolina. Why is that Washington Commanders territory? I couldn't watch the game. I had to download Fubo for a free trial just to watch NFL Red Zone. And y'all know there wasn't that much scoring. So I'm just sitting there waiting to find something about the Panthers. And I saw Bryce Young's 1 touchdown pass and the stupid 4th down call. I mean, good gracious. What the heck? Why would you run dive with no lead back on 4th and 1? What do you think the Falcons are waiting for, man?
Because Panthers. Fortunately.
Just what the world? All right, I'm done.
Friday Night Fowler, who you sliming tonight?
Man, I gotta go back to Boulder, Colorado, man. Man, what is it with Prime that's got everybody so worked up, man? Matt Rule, come on, man. What you ought to know better than stand on the logo of the team that you're playing, bro, and then disrespecting his kids, man. Matt Rule, you ought to know better, man. You've been around long enough to know. Come on, man. This Prime out there, baby. I don't know what he done to all y'all, man, but y'all got to get it right, man. Because it's personal. You feel what I'm talking about? It's personal.
Yeah, I'm going to slime our North Carolina Senate Majority Leader, Phil Berger. So if you don't know, North Carolina has not passed a budget yet for this year. Part of that budget is teachers' pay. Part of that budget is hopefully an increase in teachers' pay because, we've had a little bit of inflation going on if you haven't been to Food Line lately. I need a raise. Phil Berger, Republican, Senate Majority Leader, is refusing to pass the budget because it does not include casinos and an expansion in gambling in this state. Now, if you don't know, Republicans have never, ever, 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 ever once ran on a ticket to increase gambling, to increase the number of casinos. None of that. In fact, traditionally, historically, Republicans are against exactly those things. Phil Berger, bro. You got to go, man. You've been blind, fool.
There it is. Slime time. Nick Canales. I know, man. I don't know what the heck, man.
Hey, y'all do it to yourselves every year. I don't understand.
Stop talking.
Mute him.
Yeah, I tell y'all, every year I go on this show, man.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night.